We have completed another Invincible season comfortably. And that's with me playing a mostly rotated side the last few games. We did not lose a game. We won 28. We drew 5. We finished on 89 points. It's a new league record and a new Vardar record. The only downside was that Boma Tisevsky pulled some ankle ligaments. He was out for like 3 or 4 weeks. Alexander Tisevsky, my young regular starter of a left back, broke his ankle. He's going to be out for a while, and I'm really hoping the injury doesn't hurt him too much in the long run. So we beat Blasica there, and then we just went on a winning streak. It wasn't, okay, from an offensive point of view, it wasn't the output we had earlier in the season, but defensively we're still strong. We beat Rabbit Nikki 2-1. We beat Skandija 2-0. We beat Academica Panda 4-2. We beat Borek 2-0. We beat Scoopy 3. Well, we drew with Scoopy, rather. We drew with Scoopy 3-3. And then against Orid, with a really rotated side, mostly of youngsters, we beat them 2-1 thanks to a Todorov penalty kick in the 91st minute. Now, once we won the league, the board came in with their budgets for next year. We have an 11.6 million euro transfer budget. Our payroll budget is 107,000 euros. And even if I bring that down to, the maximum, probably 30, well, okay, there's 40 there. Even like I double it to like 60 or something like that. We've got a ton of money left to spend. The issue is I can't get any good Macedonian players to come here. They're all playing on bigger squads, and they don't want to come here. So this is kind of what I'm calling a tipping point year, especially with Carlos coming in, who's 3 stars now. He was 3.5 briefly for like a game, then he went back down to 3, where we're earning more than enough money to earn our keep. The money we're earning from the Europa League games is just going into the bank, and we're getting bigger, and we're getting better than all the other teams in the league. If I'd played my starters the rest of the way through, I think we would have ended up on 92 points. And we had the 4 draws. I would like to think at some point in time we can have an invincible season where we don't lose a game. See if we can increase the junior coaching budget again. Today, we're going to play Skandija in the cup final, and we're going to play our starters. So we've got a couple days before we get there. The Orid game just ended. I saw the announcement about the Invincible season, and I wanted to show that. I requested an increase in junior coaching. I haven't just now. We did lose a couple of players in the transfer window, but not our transfer window, other countries' transfer windows. Menser Barty left to Siska 1948 for 700,000 euros, and then Hadzievsky went to Molde for 1.5 million euros. So our total sold was 7.75, which I believe is a record for us. I would have to look at, can I go all the way back? Will the calendar go that far? Yeah, the transfer window closed February 28th. Barty left the day after it closed. Hadzievsky left the week after it closed. So we couldn't bring anybody in unless they were on a free, and frankly, there was nobody out there that I was willing to bring in. I looked at a bunch of youth players. I think those are future signings. Yeah. So Boris Pasevsky is coming in for 1.4 million from Rabbit Nikki. He is a striker, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, 19 years old. I don't know that I'm going to be able to hold on to any of the guys I've got playing striker, so he is my replacement for the moment. Plus the guys I've brought in, or plus the guys that have come through our youth development have not improved, and they weren't that good to begin with. Igor Markowski comes to us from Grazier, who are an Austrian side, on a free, 21 years old, defensive mid. I don't know why it says I need to scout him, because this game is weird sometimes. So he's here as mostly depth on the defensive line. He plays a decent defensive center back. I did some more investigating. I think, knock on wood, I can play Carlos as long as he's under 18. But then, am I tempting fate? Now, our under 18 squad also had a very good season. They finished first. They beat Nikki by a point. 25 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses. Skinderi, Wojnarowski, Alexovsky had great seasons. Alexovsky had 11 goals. Mitrev had 11 goals. So we're doing well in the league. I suspected at some point in time we would. It's to the point where the players we have are just better than everybody else's. And the fact that I played... Okay, I don't like throwing my weight around, but the fact I've been here going on 8 years now, and I've turned down every coaching job that's come my way. Basil actually asked me for an interview. And St. Gallen did earlier in the season as well. I hit the wrong button, didn't I? My assistant just did the press conference. That's fine. I do most of the press conferences anyways. So, we're going to do this properly. We are going to clear the entire team. Tasevsky's injured, so he is not going to be able to play. Pandev. The evening coffee clutch. So Dimitrov is wanted by a bunch of bigger teams, including Luton and Real Santander. Question, well, he's got a 1.5 million euro release clause. I don't know that I'm going to be able to resign him. I'm going to try, but I don't know that it's going to happen. Todorov will go here. Grostonovsky will go goal. Nevsky will go here. Roddy will go to the bench. Boz will go there. He's already 3 stars. I'm on the bench for now. Jankalov. He'll start it right. Davidovsky will go on the bench. Stamkov, we're going to put on the bench for now. Vaj will go there. Tasevsky will go on the bench. Bozanovsky will go there. Lazi's going to have to start at left. Giannakis will go to the bench. He actually got a lot of playing time the last 6 or 8 games of the season. Did a credible job 5 games of the season. Let's see here. Did a credible job. A 7.14 rating. The fact that he's also a foreign player and was able to play tells me that if I wanted to, Carlos could play. So, I don't need a final goal. I need my second striker. Where is my second striker? Is he injured? He's probably injured. Georgie! So we'll bring Tasevsky up. And we'll bring Stoyanov on, and we'll put Ristov on as well. One Macedonian under 21 player in the playing 11. Currently none. Then it's got to be Davidovsky. Skindija is actually the home team today. Almost a full-size crowd. Oh, Lazi's already on a half. I totally screwed that up. Abbas sends it in, and Dimitrov with the header for his goal. I missed it at the bottom here, off the underside of the bar. Somebody's got a flare. That's new. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. You can keep an eye on Alazi. Almerevic gets it back. Miroslavsky up to Tanko. Tanko back to Almerevic. Miroslavsky to Viana. To Ristomowski. To Miroslavsky. Viana, rather. Genev to Miroslavsky. They're just playing keep away at the moment. Tivtovsky. Oh, he loses it to Sevsky. 1-1 with the keeper. And Radua makes a nice save. And Radua, a very nice save on the corner kick. We'll get Alazi to the half. Assuming he doesn't yellow out. I said that out loud. Son of a gun. Abaz off the throw and gets it back to Alazi. Alazi lofts it in, but Radua jumps in front of Dimitrov and bombs it down the field. Just no one Skandiji uniforms there. Bozanovsky actually gets it across the halfway line, then realizes, oh my god, I'm across the halfway line. Sends it all the way back to Bozanovsky. Some back and forth. Bozanovsky lost it forward. Nevsky off the header. Dimitrov, Tisevsky feeds Jankulov. Jankulov and Nevsky in the box. Jankulov breaks it out wide. Nevsky, and he absolutely lasers a shot in. He was just sitting right outside the right corner of the 6-yard box. That was some very nice ball movement. I thought Jankulov was going to go for the shot. Instead, he went all the way to the baseline, and Nevsky was just right there. No way Radua was stopping that. Bozanovsky has it down to Davidovsky. He gets it to Nevsky. Centers it to Pandev. Pandev up to Dimitrov. Tisevsky lost it for Nevsky's there. And Radua got just enough on it to force it high and right. Abaz sends it in. Bozanovsky's with the header. Yes. He's not the most technically gifted defensive center back out there, but he's taller than everybody else on the field, and he's got great heading ability. I mean, just look at this. He's like a North Macedonian Victor Van Dijk without the headings, without the defensive skills. I mean, he's okay for the level of competition we're playing at, but... Okay, let me check something out here real quick. Am I even... I am recording. Good job, Jellicoe. Charlabas with his 4 crossing is not a left back. However, we will move Stamko over there. Badaha sends it forward. Dimitrov, Tisevsky. Oh, Almomarovic steps in front of the pass. Radaha. Rustamovsky heads it over, but Stankov steps in front of it. Abaz, long pass across the field. Nevsky, he chests it down. Right side of the box, centers it. Tisevsky's there. Off the post. Santos clears it. Viana picks it up. He breaks left. Nice pass to Doriev. Doriev one-on-one, and looks like it was tipped by one of the defenders. I think maybe Vaj got a foot on it. And they score. I had a bug flying in front of my face. They got one back off a corner kick. Rustamovsky missed the header. And then Jatovsky tried kicking it in, and it was deflected out, and it was put away. We'll make a sub after this here. Jankulov, Nevsky, to Davidovsky, back to Bozanovsky. Vaj, Bozanovsky, Pandev, Tisevsky. Abaz gets it to Nevsky, over to Tisevsky, and he puts it away for the goal, his 15th of the season. Nice job in a crowd. I would have sworn Nevsky was offsides, but that's just me. Okay, change here. Who do we need to get off? It said Nevsky. Was missing a column. We'll bring on Todorov for Nevsky. That's the only sub we'll make right now. Radaha. Bombs it forward. Oh, the highlight ended. Okay, not quite sure what's going on. It was a foul. Jatovsky from distance on the free kick. And he skies it high and left. Groznovsky over to Bozanovsky. Over to Vaj. Vaj up to Stamkov. Stamkov cuts inside. Pandev back to Vaj. Pandev up to Stamkov. Over to Abaz. Bozanovsky up to Davidovsky. Decent pass. Oh, Todorov couldn't control the ball. It's knocked away, but Bozanovsky recovers. Jankulov. Davidovski, Bozanovsky, all the way back to Grozdanovsky. Back to Bozanovsky. He lost it down the right side, but it's knocked away. Doriev for Skandija picks it up. Holds it up, crosses it in. Vlan is there, and they score. We had them outnumbered, and we had a good line, and we had decent positioning, and they still managed to score. I don't think that was Vaj's fault. Almerovich. Oh, nice save by Grozdanovsky. And just finally banged out of bounds. Todorov, Jenkolov. Todorov drops off to Jenkolov. He gets up to Dimitrov. Dimitrov back to Davidovsky, to Bozanovsky. He sends it down the field. Tasevsky heads it over to Dimitrov. Up into space for Jenkolov. Jenkolov crosses it in. Tasevsky's there. Off the post and in. Little help from the woodwork for his 17th goal of the season. A good assist by Jenkolov. Jenkolov was probably the first big risk I took in this save. The 500,000 euros I spent to get him was questionable at the time, because I think our transfer budget back then was maybe 700,000 euros. But I needed a good defensive right back, and he's come in, and he's done a very, very good job for us. Tasevsky off the throw and back to Vaj. Vaj brings it across the halfway line. Long pass. Almerovic steps in front of it, drops it off to Doriev. Doriev to Janov. Janov to Viana. Rustomovsky centers it to Diaz. Diaz takes a shot, but he sends it hard right. I think he rushed it. I don't know what happened there. Grozdanovsky's running for the ball. Now it's a free kick from Abaz, and he hits the woodwork. Diaz just kicks it away. Jenkolov's going to run it down, and that's the highlight. Grozdanovsky to Bozanovsky. Davidovsky over to Pandev. Pandev sends it over to the left. Stamkov pushing forward, up to Abaz, back to Stamkov. Stamkov to Vaj. Vaj sends it all the way back to Grozdanovsky. Bozanovsky, long pass. Dimitrov can't get a head on it. Doriev ends up with it for Skandija. Diaz lost it towards Vetter, but Jenkolov muscles him out of the way. Oh, he loses the ball. Rustomovsky was fouled, but Viana ended up with the ball. And Grozdanovsky, an acrobatic leap to stop the ball. 4 minutes of extra time. Statistically, Skandija's been better. Grozdanovsky, a nice save, and the follow-up goes into the pole. And we win. Look how big Bozanovsky is. I mean, seriously. Hey, who's my defensive center back? The one with all the heading ability. And there we go. We win the cup yet again. We'll save the game, and then we'll come back with the season review. Well, that is the third time in 5 years we've won the cup. Tasevsky, 2 goals. Well done. Breach through the post-match press conference here. Bonuses were paid out. Jenkolov reached the yellow card limit again. He's reached it so much, he's fined 2 weeks' wages. I'm not even going to bother fixing the training here. So we're losing Tasevsky. He was here on loan from Slavia. And I have more than capable replacements for him. And that's something we'll talk about here after we do the review here. So Panda was the only big guy we brought in. They rated him an A+. They're more than happy with the results. Biggest one was a 6-0 against Lubotin. The match to remember was the 1-0 against Bravo. The goal of the season was Babic from 25 yards. Oh, I remember this. Nevsky dropped it off. Babic picked it up and just left-footed in like a laser. It was a brilliant, brilliant goal. There were other good goals as well, but that's definitely goal of the season worthy. Finance-wise, everything was up. Revenue or sponsorship revenue was up. Broadcast revenue was way up. Corporate hospitality was up. Competition prize money was up just because of how far we went. And matchday commercial retail was up as well. Dimitrov, well, we sold 4,345 jerseys, and Dimitrov was the vast majority of those. So the best 11, yeah, that makes sense. Hodzievsky left. Hodzievsky left in the, as I talked about earlier. So, first league player of the season was Emil Abaz. Top goal scorer was Dimitrov. Elizi set the highest transfer record at 1.61. Murati, player of the year. Dimitrov, young player of the season. Pandev was the signing of the season. Babish was the goal of the season. Dimitrov, 21 goals. Abaz, 15 assists. Abaz also had 6 players in the match and the highest average rating. Rabbit Nicky set a new attendance record. Tisevsky was inducted into the best 11, as was Novevsky. We had 21,000 for Scoopy. Was that it? 16,000 for Rabbit Nicky. No, that's away. 16,000 against Bravo. That's Champions League, though. Man, our attendance has just been lacking, and I'm not quite sure why. End of season team meeting. We are going to win the league, and we're going to give ourselves a good account in the Champions Cup. Because Lord knows it's literally going to start in like 5 weeks. June 26th. Yeah, 5 weeks. How's Vardar doing? He's at Estoril, and he is not doing all that great. And Danovsky, you know, he's a solid starter. He's not a yellow card machine anymore. Okay, so we had an increase to the coaching staffs. I've got one extra coach here. I've got an extra scout here. No extra physios or anything. If I look at the under 18s, I got an extra coach there as well. So I got caught helping the wife. So everybody has gone on vacation, but we can still look at them. Grozdanowski, I'm going to sort by games here. Grozdanowski, a great season, 52 appearances, 2 assists, 2 players of the match, 7.2 rating. Dimitrov, 44 appearances, 3 off the bench, 20 goals, 15 assists, 3 players of the match. Tisevsky, who was injured for a decent amount, or for the end of the season, 40 appearances, 1 goal, 5 assists, a player of the match. Amir Murati, 36 appearances, 7 off the bench, 19 goals, 14 assists, a player of the match. Novevsky, 17 goals, 13 assists, 2 players of the match. Jankelov, 4-3-2. Tosevsky, in what I thought was going to be mostly a bench role, instead got 31 starts and 13 appearances off the bench, 16 goals, 8 assists, 4 players of the match. Pandev, in a half season, 4 goals, 7 assists, 1 player of the match. Bozanovsky was his usual solid defensive self. All 3 goals were off set pieces. Tisevsky, in 29 games, had 5 goals, 10 assists, and a player of the match. Abaz, 26 games, 6 off the bench, 10 goals, 15 assists, 6 players of the match. And then Davidovsky, 18 goals, 12 off the bench, 4 goals, 5 assists, 1 player of the match. That bodes well for the future. Ristov, mostly coming off the bench, 3-3-1. And then Todorov, and not a lot of appearances, actually. That was my mistake. 3-1-1 as well. If we go by goals, I had 5 players in double digits. If we go by assists, I had 5 players in double digits. So we're definitely spreading the wealth around. I am totally okay with that. Save the game here real quick. I mentioned earlier, this is going to be like a tipping point sort of season, I think. And the big reason I say that is because if I go to player search, and I've got a filter on, so, you know, we'll go to 39. So these are all the players in the game that have some sort of Macedonian heritage. And why Dejan Kulusevski is, oh, there he is. So the issue is, even if I look like a player like Ardan Jashari, okay, he's 25 years old, he's playing at Grasshoppers, he's a midfielder. I could use midfielders. I have the money to sign him, and I have the money to pay his wages. But if I go here and I make an inquiry, even if they do agree to a fee, he's going to turn me down because he doesn't think we have the infrastructure. How did Ilyeski do this season? 1 goal, 3 assists. It's not too bad. And then Elizi at Angers, 8 goals, 3 assists. Spasov is looking to leave, but he would be a backup here, and I don't know that he would want to be a backup. So the issue I'm running into is that, the players I can get are going to be older players. If I sort by age, it's going to be the Trechkovskis or the ones I've already kind of sort of scouted. Eljif Amos isn't coming here. He isn't leaving RB Leipzig. Not for any amount of money. Maybe if he was older and kind of on the downward side of his career, possibly. But players like these, they're older. They're not any better than the guys I already have on the squad. So they're not going to make things better. They wouldn't make things worse. But, I don't know what the point would be in trying to sign them. So we are getting Boris Pasevsky. I talked about him earlier. That is in case Dimitrov leaves. If we go by this, Dimitrov was wanted. A couple of other players were wanted. So the offseason is definitely going to be interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. We've got some international games going on now. I'm hoping the team does well enough that we also move up in the rankings a little bit, maybe solidify our Champions League positioning so we're not playing all these cup qualifying matches. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I know I've got a decent amount of players on the national teams, both the national team and the under-21s. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see that come to fruition. So that said, a successful season for us. The youngsters got a decent amount of playing time. I'm looking forward to next season. This transfer window is going to be fun. I'm not going to be able to spend all of my money unless I overspend, and I'm not, I'm not going to pay 10 million euros for a guy just to clear my transfer budget. So, but I think we're set up well for next season, and we'll try for another Invincible one. So that said, if you did like what you seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticism, comments. Leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM22. I thank you for watching.